Oh my god. Because we can see the chat across the thing. Yeah, I realize that. I'm fucking retarded. That usually doesn't happen. I'm pretty good with that stuff. But that testosterone. Oh my god. I can't find it, but it's the Simpsons episode where Homer gets like the testosterone shot, and he goes like crazy, and he just like runs up the stairs with Marge, and then it's like the shot of like Bart and Lisa sitting there like
help or a gas mask.
And then Marge is like, oh god, I hope the kids didn't hear us. It's like, yeah. Why don't you move to Kick? It's better over there. I keep telling people to move over to Kick because they won't get ads, Fireblade. I don't know. People are just stubborn and they like to stay on Twitch. I mean, I have no problem with that, but I do say I think Kick is a better platform. I mean, that's fair, Book. You are one of the few subscribers, so it's always good to have. But hey, okay, here we go, guys. Without further ado, let's actually get into the content of the day. Okay? We should probably start the video. Let's go.
I use the same structure to write every ending to every book that I write. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly what that structure is and break down how you can apply it to your own story. This structure comes from Save the Cat and essentially breaks your climax of your book or screenplay or story down into 5 separate steps. The reason why it's so useful to use a structure like this is because every reader or viewer or really consumer of your story is going to have subconscious...
You also won't get banned for small stupid shit. That's true, Fireblade. 5 steps to climax? No, thank you. It's a guaranteed climax every single time, Book. We'll be sissy-gasming like no tomorrow, you know?
Expectations for what
Are you smoking?
Oh shit!
You.
There we go, we got one!
The channel. Less than greater than.
Wait.
Greater than less than less than less than greater than Dancing Kirby.
Wait, what? I'm so confused what happened there. Why did that announcement play? That is broken. That wasn't the right one. There is not such thing as a guaranteed climax. But I wouldn't say guaranteed, I would say inevitable, Book. I would say inevitable. There you go. See, it's all about how you present it, right? Now, I'm super confused because I don't know where that announcement came from. But whoever did that announcement, congratulations. I don't even know what the fuck it was. I have been disappointed many times while reading. So have I, Book. I've gone over this like 100 fucking times. I will go over it again right now just to emphasize this. I gotta start putting a fucking bookmark in this shit. Worst ending to any book fucking ever. I mean, I even have my bookmarks still in here, guys. Because I just never finished the book. It's been in there for like 15 or 16 years. I wonder if I can find it. Our new Kick friend went away. You sure? Fireblade? He just pops in every once in a while. Streaming on... No, I don't stream on YouTube anymore because I could get banned and my account could get deleted. Damn, I can't find it. I'll have to go through it and put the bookmark on it. Because I haven't removed it for this screen yet. I'm just lazy. But anyways, Aragorn's like completely defeated, completely dead to rights, and he's like, oh, I just want Galbatorix to know that, like, feel all the pain that he's ever suffered, and then Galbatorix blows himself up, and that's the end. Boring! All the build-up, all the hype for such a fucking last-minute dope-out. Roach out. It's roaches. It's roaches. It's R-O. No, it's one word. And usually it's just E-M-R-O. Oh god, look at all the lurkers! Holy fuck, there's so many lurkers! What the fuck? Where'd they all come from? Okay, so we got one is 5 steps to climax.
Climax should feel like. Have you ever watched a movie or read a book and got
Expectations for a climax.
to the end and was like, wow, that was a lot of build-up for something that was kind of lame. It was
Actually,
just
need
kind
to
of
learn
boring.
this. Yes.
And it didn't really feel like an ending. That is what can happen if you don't follow a structure similar to this, or at least include the elements that are in this structure in your climax. I'm not saying you have to follow the 5-step finale. I have not done this in most of the books, pretty much all of the books in my series. I didn't know that this existed when I was writing my series, and so when I was plotting, I didn't...
That reminds me of the story, Debbie. I just read the other day. Her cheat ability is making everyone within 100 feet feel what she feels. Not just know what she feels, but feel it. The closer they get, the more intense they feel her emotions. That's interesting, Sean. I like that. That's pretty cool.
Follow every single one of these steps, but I did hit a lot of these steps anyway, even though I didn't know what this structure was.
So let's find out if I hit
just
those steps.
Because I understood that it's so important to have big reversals in how the finale looks like it's going to play out before the hero actually succeeds. Like, it's important to have your all hope is lost moment, and then the moment where all of your characters have to face their deepest fears in order to become their higher version of themselves and actually fulfill the finale. It's very prevalent, and so this is not the only structure that includes these elements, but I did find that the way that they broke it down was very helpful, and so that is why I'm going to share it with you. So I haven't actually read Save the Cat or Save the Cat Writes a Novel, but I am pretty sure that this appears in either one of those books. And so here is the copy of Save the Cat that I dug out of my moving boxes from my childhood home that was recently sold. So I see some like annotations in the beginning.
No, everyone wants her to be happy because she's miserable, so are they. If she's ecstatic, so are they. If she's afraid for her life, so are they. So basically, you can manipulate anyone around you based upon your feelings and how they treat you. That's very interesting.
So I think I started it at some point, probably in high school, but I never finished it. It might be in here, so I credit what I say to this book, potentially, or the blog that I pulled this information from that is affiliated with the Save the Cat brand. So step 1 of the 5-step finale is the heroes
make a plan. Okay, guys, what's the plan? The plan is or I guess I should say, Husai gets diamond weapon. The gravitic weapon that pulled the moon out of the sky. So you got a weapon that can pull the moon out of the sky. That's how powerful it is. And it's it's the monarch's ultimate weapon too. So it's using the enemy's weapon against them.
Make a plan. At the point that a finale happens in a story, your heroes have probably gone on some sort of adventure. And
just imagine when she falls in love, they will never fall apart. He's so in love with her that he will never mess up. That's not true, Sean, because what if he's only in love with her because she's in love with him, and as soon as he steps 100 feet away from her, he's no longer in love with her? Dude, you could turn this into like a thriller story with like her being a stalker and like stalking him and trying to attempt to get within 100 feet of him, because as soon as she gets within 100 feet of him, he's locked in, but she has to make sure that he never leaves that 100-foot range. Dude, that would be a fucking crazy story. Oh my god. Then role reverse it and make it the dude, and then it'd just be so fucked up. She needs chains, yeah. Legit, she needs him on a fucking collar. Oh my god. One of those ankle cuffs. Oh my god.
they've probably accumulated some allies, accumulated some
Beeps
enemies.
when he nears 100 feet. No, it's gotta like do something like shock him. It's gotta be like a shock collar. That if you get like 90 feet away, it starts shocking him. And then you just let him out of the car and drive away. Just making him slowly... Dude, this story would be fucking amazing.
Some brushes with death. They have...
No, if she hears the beeps, she projects abject terror. But then she would have to deal with it. And it's not like she can project it. It's like, it's just how she feels. But she would feel terrified that he was getting close to the edge. But at that point, I don't know how strong those feelings would be, right? Because it'd only be like 10% of the strength. So I think maybe you could do both. So you shock him and you fill him with fear. You can never just use one line of defense. You always gotta have multiple lines of defense.
Idea of who the villain is, they know what they want, and they're getting pretty close to being able to actually go and get what they want. They know in order to
Could be
get
the
what
story we
they want,
write
they're
on
gonna have to do
Thursday. Oh, I am so down for that book. Hell yes. Hell yes. Sounds like a fucking good time.
something extra hard, probably the hardest thing that they've had.
You can write the chick, and I'll write the dude. Oh god, it'd be fucking amazing.
Had to do in the entire story, hopefully, if you've done your job right. And so they have to make a plan for how they're going to do it. If there's a princess stuck in a castle and they have to save the princess, they got to make a plan for how they're going to storm the castle. If they've been hunting for a bunch of gold and they find out that the gold is hidden somewhere deep in the national forest and they have an idea now of where it is,
Oh my god. Woo! Okay.
and they find out that it's hidden in a really dangerous place,
I
they're gonna
almost typed it a cucked you up.
have to figure out how
True.
they're going to access that dangerous place and get the gold. They are not actually doing anything active here. They're not running up into the castle and slaying a dragon. They are not running into the national forest and digging holes in the ground. They are making a plan for how that's going to happen. Very important for them to make a plan because one very helpful writing rule of thumb is that if your characters make a plan and everything happens according to that plan and the plan is successful, you don't want to show your characters making that plan. You just want to show the plan happening. But if the plan goes wrong, you want to make sure that you show your characters making that plan so that
Oh, that's a really good point. Okay. So, if the plan goes through successfully for don't foreshadow it, or sorry, foreshadow it but don't reveal it. If the plan isn't successful, show the creation slash discussion of the plan. That's a really good idea, yeah. So in mine, we discuss the plan because it's one of the Viceroy's plans. Well, why don't we just grab the gravitic weapon? Wait, what? Yeah, you know, the thing the Monarch used to pull the moon out of the sky. Let's grab that. The Emerald Weapon should be a piece of it. That's headed in the 100-year quest. One should be on Atomus, and the other should be in the dome. Alright, let's fucking do this, guys. Even though, if you know anything, by that point the Viceroy is on the other side. By the time you find out any of that information. So there's got to be something else. But that is the plan. Once they, discover everything, and when they're inside the dome in the second book, when they're talking to the Warriors of Light, they've got all the technology and everything. They've got all the records of the past and everything, and it's basically like unveiled the old world and everything. So you have basically all of the information now that you need in order to understand why this would be such a good plan, while using the enemy's weapon against them. And then getting all of the pieces and putting all of the pieces together, being able to control the weapon, is another thing as well. Just had a thought about the whole misuse of food stamps deal. During the time when the child needs formula, their food stamps amount should get reduced, and their formula gets shipped directly to them in government packaging, so they can't resell it. I mean, I think they'd find a way to resell it. They'd probably just put it in baggies and then just sell it in baggies. Like crackheads. But very true. I mean, there are some implementation things that you could do. And the plan. Okay, so that's them creating the plan. The plan itself, nobody will buy formula if they don't know what type it is. That's the point. I don't know anything about formula, Sean, so I couldn't tell you. I just think they're all the same. Or is it like for like different ages? Like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months? I have no idea. And then the next point is the plan successful? If you get Simulac, it is lactose free. That is nasty for a baby who doesn't need it. I see. So they have the plan. They implement the plan. And the plan is to use the weapon against the Monarch. The Monarch, like, they don't know this, but when the final battle comes, they just want to use the weapon to basically, like, reverse gravity, shoot the Monarch into space. We're like, hey, let's just knock him off the planet. Fuck it. We'll make him the new moon. But they wind up using it to break the barrier around him that he summons, I don't know, whatever it is. The barrier around him, they use the weapon to break the barrier, and then they get inside the barrier. But the weapon itself is spent opening the barrier. So they never get to enact the plan to actually use the weapon to defeat the Monarch. They're just using the weapon to facilitate a defeat of the Monarch through another means. But they don't have another means of defeating it. That's why Husai turns to Guy at the last second and says, man, you're going to have to, like, take over my fucking body and shit and become one of them. Like, this isn't working. Different recipes for different brands, too. They are allergy issues to deal with, so no parent will buy formula they can't identify. The government packaging wouldn't identify the type of formula, only the account it's associated with. I don't know, Sean. Some parents are fucking retarded and don't give a shit. Which is really unfortunate about the world, but yeah. I don't care, it's cheaper, gimme. Oh shit, I gave him the heroin instead of the fucking baby formula. Fuck! Shouldn't have made that joke. My bad.
Things are starting to deviate from the plan that your characters made. That is the way that you build suspense, and you don't make your writing boring by rehashing the same information twice. Spoiler.
Choose from double explanations. Wasn't a joke. It was a legit. I mean, it straight up is a legitimate concern if you're buying stuff like that. There could be anything in it. That's why, if anything food related leaves the store, if they return it, it instantly goes to claims. No matter what. Because you do not know what they did with it when it left the store.
Alert, this plan is going to go wrong. Step 2 of the 5-act finale is the plan begins. If they're going to save the princess stuck in the tower, they run into the tower and begin their plan.
So we'll say, like, the Alliance gathers at the tree. The monarch and viceroy, because kind of the way that I imagine it is like, there's the area around the tree, around Ifrit. So there's like the tree, the volcano, Ifrit, and the area around Ifrit. Because Ifrit is a circular city around the entirety of the base of the volcano. And the idea is that it's like you can go in any direction from the beginning, right? It's like the further away you get from the tree, the higher level the zones are. But it doesn't matter in which direction you go, as long as it's a distance point from the tree. That's like the idea of how the further away you get, stronger. 2 is the plan begins, so the actual activation of the plan. So, in this case, the plan is they have to draw out the monarch and the viceroy. So in order to do that, they bring Atomus and the emerald weapon to the gates of Ifrit. And they call out the monarch and the viceroy, and the monarch and the viceroy come out. And then that's like the beginning of the battle. So the alliance with Atomus and the diamond weapon. The tree, the monarch, and the viceroy present themselves. I'm just gonna say tree to lure out monarch and viceroy. So like step 1 of their plan is lure them out. Step 2 is launch them into space. Doesn't work. But they can still use the weapon. So it's like they gotta come up with like a plan on the fly kind of thing. Like being like, well, can we just directly hit him with it? Well, let's use its maximum power on it. I mean, it is what it is. We'll just add it to our own, right? Very direct gravity burst. Like Gravity 4 or something like that. I guess it'd be more like a tractor beam. Kind of be like the idea of a tractor beam. But, of course, the Monarch has technology, and the weapon is made of technology. He made the weapon, so he knows how to counter it. The only thing they can use is its destructive force to try to break through the shield. And that's the closest they can get to anything.
They maybe had a strategy for how they were going to get into the tower, and they start that strategy. I don't really know how else to describe it. They just start doing the things that they said that they were going to do in step 1. During step 2, everything has to go according to plan. Everything is going really well. The main characters are pleasantly surprised. They are energized. They're like, yeah, that was a great plan. We are going to kill this. We are going to save the princess or get the gold or defeat the bad guy or whatever they're trying to do. They are motivated, they are empowered, and everything is going exactly right in the way that they wanted it to. Until they reach step 3. Step 3 of the 5-step finale is that something goes very wrong. Something has to go so wrong that it looks like the heroes are going to lose. Their original plan has to be thoroughly defeated, and it has
the shield around the monarch and the viceroy counteracts the gravity weapon of the diamond weapon. Plan to throw the viceroy and monarch into space fails.
to look like the bad guy has actually won. So if they're going to save a princess from the tower, they go into the tower and she's not there. Or maybe she's dead. Or maybe the bad guy has her and has a knife to her throat. It's not really dramatic enough. I like the one where she's dead. They go to try to find the gold, and the antagonist, who's also been chasing the gold this whole time, has found it first and has completely cleared it out. The twist here has to be so devastating.
They open the vault, and all of a sudden they realize that it's empty, and you're like, wait, what? That's when it's like you go to shoot them into space, and they're like, yeah, that doesn't work on us, buddy. You guys are fucking retarded. We built that thing. We know what we're doing. Get the fuck out of here. Summon a couple more behemoths. Let's do this shit. And then just fuck them up. But they're like, ah, shit. Well, what we gotta actually fight him now, guys. We weren't prepared to actually fight him. What are we doing?
Stating it has to look like the tragic ending to the story, like the one where, if that were the real ending, the reader would just light the book up on, like, in flames and just throw it into the trash. It has to elicit a strong reaction. It can't just be like a letdown. It has to be like an angry, like, intense twist that makes it look like the heroes, after all of that, are not going to be successful in a very frustrating way. And it has to now look impossible.
Ads! Ads! Fuck ads, guys. Get rid of those ads. No one wants ads. Fuck ads. So that'd be like Viceroy leaves Monarch's protective bubble and attacks Ifrit. Something like that. Monarch sits back and watches. So, new plan is to use DW to break Monarch's shield with pure force. We create a hole in the shield, and the main party enters to fight the Monarch. And this is like, at this point, like, you know that, like, oh shit, like, everything's going wrong and they just have to do this. Like, they have no other choice, they have no other chance. If they're gonna do it, they have to do it now. So, this is a terrible plan. They're probably all gonna die. but fuck, this is the only chance they have, and they have to do it now. So everything is just looking like they just got fucking annihilated, and this is all very, very bad. And then it turns to Gaia. And then, the battle just gets so fucking out of hand, it's basically destroying the planet.
Possible for them to achieve their final goal. Like, if their goal was to find the gold, and all the gold is gone, and, like, on a ship going to Africa or something, that's gonna look pretty hard for them to go get the gold from the ship and steal it if it's on, like, a pirate ship that's sailing across the sea. Bear with me, these are very rough examples. Or if the goal was to save the princess and the princess is dead, it's gonna look kind of impossible to save the princess. It's way more emotional.
Oh, it was actually her twin sister!
Impactful if you can make the loss feel irreversible. Like, the dead princess is a lot more impactful than the princess having, like, a knife to her throat and the villain is there, because then, presumably they'll just be able to defeat the villain. Or to have them show up and maybe just another person is also there looking at the gold at the same time. It's something. Something didn't go according to plan, but it's just not as impactful as it could be. So everything is looking pretty bad for the hero after step 3. It's not looking like they're going to be able to win, which brings you into step 4. The hero has to come up with a new plan.
And this is where hero has to come up with a new plan. That plan, Kusai begs Gaia to take over his consciousness and body and use her full strength to defeat the monarch.
This is where the hero has to have some kind of transformation. They have to dig really deep and find a way to defeat the villain that they hadn't seen before. In the hero's journey, this is the part in the hero's journey after it looks like they've lost, where the hero has to complete their character journey, and only after they've transformed themselves as a character from the version that
Yo, Muffin! I thought you were gonna start saying something different, and I've been waiting for it. And I don't know if I missed it the first day that you did it, and then since I missed it, you've just went back to saying yo. So if I did, I am fucking so sorry. I missed it? Fuck. Fuck me. God damn it. I said, hey ladies? Oh no, I do remember that, Muffin! I do remember that! I remember you saying, hey ladies. I didn't miss it. I remember that. I said, hey ladies, and I laughed. You're an idiot? Yes, I am an idiot, Muffin, because I have way too much shit in my head. I need something to draw out the memory. But I totally remember you saying, hey, ladies. And I was like, dude, that's fucking great. I swear I made some sort of response to it. Gotta go back and check the VOD. But how's it going, brother? Did you stream today, good sir? Was you the streaming today? It was just a vibing day, a chillaxing.
They had been at the beginning of the story. Can they actually defeat the villain through their new plan? Like, it's not something that the original version of the hero would have been capable of doing at the beginning of the story, but because of all of the trials that he went through over the course of the story, now he is capable of doing that thing, and he's able to dig deep and face his fears and overcome himself in step 4 in order.
But the thing about that is, I gotta help someone download a plugin software I finished streaming a few hours ago. Alright, yeah, no worries, Muffin. Sounds good, brother.
To enact his new plan and defeat the villain. This is a really satisfying part of the climax to write, but you have to get really creative. It has to tie into the character's character arc. It has to tie into their greatest fear.
Not like I said, Husai's unspoken rule is that he's not the chosen one. So he has to reconcile the fact that he is the chosen one, and the only way for this battle to be won is for him to give himself up. But the best part about it is that Gaia won't let him do it. It's like he's come all the way to this point where he can finally be like, alright, I can make the ultimate sacrifice. And even Gaia is like, no, that's too much of a sacrifice. We're not having any of that. I will not sacrifice your consciousness. We've already lost 2 consciousnesses. We don't need to lose 50% more consciousnesses. Just try and beat him, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But then Gaia comes up with her own plan that she's been surmising in the background the entire time, that she knew this is what was going to happen, but no one knew about this. She just knew at some point this battle was probably going to get to such a point that it would destroy her shell. True.
It has to tie into their internal wound.
Mm-hmm.
It has to really fit into your story in order.
I think
to
it
be
really
satisfying.
does.
One book
because
that
of
did
how
this
Husai is.
exceptionally well in its climax is the book Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. It's a heist book, and they have a huge heist that they planned. And this structure kind of draws out over the course of a pretty long section of the book, but that's because that's the section that covers the heist. As a side note, I much prefer reading climaxes that are longer than 1 to 2 chapters. I just feel like if you've been reading a book,
yeah, it shouldn't just abruptly end,
many chapters,
right? Hi, how are you, beautiful people? Shara23, welcome back. How's it going? We're doing good. Today we are writing Climax, but for some reason Twitch would not let me put Climax. Like, it wouldn't let me put the title Writing Climax. So I'd write writing, what is it titled? Writing climactic scenes? I think that was it. But it's not the same as like writing the climax of the book, right? 13, what's up? Not much. We're talking about it. You didn't sleep. Shayra, you didn't sleep. Damn. I had such a hard time sleeping last night because, well, I guess this morning. Because I was sick as fucking balls, man. I don't know what it was. But like, I had a headache, my throat was sore, my freaking nose was fucking going crazy, sneezing like a motherfucker. It's just a bad time. Sleep is for the meek. Have you written anything, Shayra? Did you spend all of that time fucking around? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm pretty sure it's just fucking allergies. Cause what happens is it rains, and it winds, and it storms, and all the pollen and shit from the fields gets blown into my fucking room because it all gets like pulled down from the rain and then blown in with the wind. So it's like you're not just getting the bottom layer of pollen, you're getting all of the pollen from all the different fields. So it's like I'm not just getting one thing that I'm fucking allergic to, I'm getting like 8 things that I'm fucking allergic to. Super annoying. Just shove Kleenex up my nose the whole fucking day while I'm sneezing. Fuck. And then you're in that perpetual sneeze where there's like, feels like you have to sneeze. Joku Killer! Yo! What's up, brother? Welcome. How's it going? Good to see all y'all up in here. We're learning about climaxes and unveiling the fact that this 5-step. So this is usually how the reacts go when we're doing a either world building or on writing, which in this case is a on writing for how to write climaxes. I usually treat these as a test to see how well my ideas are structured. And do I hit these points on my own without being told that I should need them? And so far, the answer to that is 100% yes. We've hit every single mark on T to the point and layered down to even the most like minute part is the only possible outcome. You know, taking everything and all the considerations and all the math and everything and putting it together and saying, this is the only possible way it could happen. This is the only possible way to tie everything together at the end. But we're still only 4 out of 5. So let's see what number 5 is.
Bit, and it's only like 1 or 2 chapters long. Like, that's just...
Oh, chapter size, right. So, let's see. I did nothing in all the night. I have a creative block, so I still only have the script of the pilot episode. That's okay, Shayra. It'll come to you. What I like to do when I'm in a writer's block is I pick 10 words.
Kill nuclear scientist, search fake bombs, calls bluff WW3.
So I just take like random words. I try to make a story. Or we could do like fantasy, where we actually have this. Thief unite, curse sword, unleash forgotten magic. And even if it's a 100-word story, just write something. Something to get the creative juices flowing. No matter how bad it is or whatever. Writer's block is basically when you can't come up with any ideas, or you don't know how to progress forward in the story. Like, you're basically stuck at a point where your imagination doesn't have the gears in motion. It's like your imagination's stalled. So, like, I'll just, like, write the most random fucked up shit. Sometimes I'll just write random poetry, just to try and get, like, alliteration type stuff. Oh, for that, I like to put on some music and play League of Legends. See, that's a good way too, is you get your mind off of it and you set everything to your subconscious, and you let your subconscious deal with it, and then as soon as the subconscious comes up with an idea, it'll throw it into your main consciousness. I send my first script in the public story channel of the Discord. I already translated it. Hell yeah, pop it in there. We can read it after we're done the react. Talking about climaxes, I mean, what?
A letdown, and I think it's a lot more fun when there are many more exciting chapters.
No worries.
Climax. But anyway, Six of Crows does this phenomenally well.
Fuck, I keep saying, okay, chapters. The first chapter, enacting the plan, is them going to Ifrit. The second chapter is the battle beginning and the them using the weapon and it failing, and the Monarch and the Viceroy basically laughing at them. Speaking of reading, you left off yesterday's stream at chapter 5 of mine. I thought it was chapter 6, Joku. But I'm probably wrong. Yeah, so we'll read the rest of that today. Chapter 5. Okay, so it would have been going on to chapter 6. Okay, so we had chapter 6 to chapter 11 today. Sounds good. And then if Raymond Dow pops in, we can throw him in there too. It'll be perfect.
They have a plan for the heist, and then the plan goes wrong, and then each of the characters have to face their deepest fears and transform in some way in order for them to be able to accomplish the thing that they want to accomplish. I'm not going to spoil whether or not they ultimately do, but in the climax, each one of them has to face that like deep character question, and it's so cool to read. So then step 5 is the hero does the new plan and wins.
Hero does new plan and wins. Although it's technically not the hero, because the new plan that Husai wants to do is not the plan that Gaia wants to do. Volume of the video reactor is quite low, even though my speakers are max volume. Can you increase the volume? No, that's one unfortunate thing, is that... I mean, I can try this, but that increases the volume of absolutely everything. So, like, all the alerts and everything might be super fucking loud. So, in this case, Gaia refuses Husai's plan to essentially take him over and use her full power. Yeah, that's usually why I have the CC on, because these videos are a little bit quieter, which is really annoying, but there's nothing I can do about it. But, you know, we'll eventually be going back to Book Fox and Hello Future Me. Good morning, Eddie the Mix. How's it going, good sir? How are you? Welcome, welcome. The battle rages to the point the planet is being destroyed. Gaia knows this was inevitable. And everyone is going to die. But that's okay because their consciousness will return to her. Gaia knows she'll never be able to beat him, but she knows she can hold him at bay for as long as possible, which could be eternity. And if she can hold him at bay for eternity, then there's the possibility that life continues in existence. And that's all that she put her, you know, all of her eggs in one basket
Hero
on that
came
one.
up with a new plan because of the way that that hero transformed, and that plan is successful.
True.
The hero is able to save the day, get that gold, revive the dead princess, maybe do some necromancy or something, and ultimately be successful. The hero should be different from the beginning of the climax to the end of the climax. The version of the hero that goes into the climax isn't fully ready to defeat that villain and accomplish what they want to accomplish. And so
he has to be pushed to the line.
So
we got 5 out of 5, guys. It's another 100% for the test.
Hero to take that last step in their growth, be ready to get what they want and to show them getting what they want. You can find this finale structure in so many movies and books. It is everywhere, and that's
why you wind up with it if you naturally come to it. It's like this is generally how I have an idea. I have an idea, I forget the idea. I have the idea again, I write the idea down. I forget the idea. Then I get the idea again, and I go to write it down, and I realize that I already had it written down. Then I star that idea as, this is an idea that no matter what happens, this is the natural outcome, no matter how you look at it. And those, to me, are the most powerful ideas. Because they're the ones that no matter what, you always come back to that conclusion. And I think that's extremely important.
Are programmed to watch the characters fail before they succeed in a climax. If you were writing that book about saving the princess and they just came up with a plan, stormed the castle, went into the castle, found the princess, saved the princess was very happy, and then everyone lived happily ever after without any story.
I don't agree with the statement the hero should be different from the start and end. Think of great works like Breaking Bad and Death Note. Walter White was the same person at the end that he was at the beginning. Light Yagami was the same arrogant person till the end. He never changed. Joku, I don't know what you mean by Walter White was the same person at the beginning. Walter White is one of the most dramatic changes in a character over a show. It just goes to show how power corrupts. I agree with Light Yagami. Except for the fact of what happens, Joku, what happens at the very end of Death Note? What is the very final scene of Death Note? What does Light do? Because it's extremely important. And maybe it's something you missed. He becomes a little fucking bitch, and he tries to run away. Was he ever a bitch at any point in time, other than when he lost his memories? When he was in jail? So I would say he's a little bitch at the beginning. He becomes an arrogant piece of shit, and then he turns back into being a little fucking bitch at the end. That's how I perceive Death Note. Whereas with Walter White, I see him being a reasonable person trying to support his family to a person that has so much power that he doesn't want to give it up, that he is willing to literally murder his family over it. So he is willing to give up the thing that he was he started his journey to protect by the end, because he's become so fucked up by what's happened. But that's just my perspective, right? And I like seeing other people's perspectives. So I see exactly where you're coming from with it. And in the idea of how, I mean, you could say Walter was a piece of shit at the beginning of the show, right? Like, but in a completely type of different way. Like, he's just a pussy-ass bitch. Right? And especially with the comparison between, like, I can't remember the character's name, but it is, the FBI dude, his wife's brother. Who gets him into it because he goes along the ride along, and that's when he meets Jesse for the first time. The entire instigation of the story. But those are really good examples of characters. And my character starts off as, like, fully enjoying the retirement life, being thrust back into adventuring, and realizing the thrill. You're very good at analyzing stories. That's what people say, Shayra. Okay, man, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't finish Breaking Bad. I just heard a synopsis from a YouTube video, and that guy said Walter White didn't change. My bad. I should have mentioned something I had no idea about. No, that's okay, Joku. One thing, guys. Do you want to know the tell of how if I'm pulling shit out of my ass, and I'm talking out of my ass, and I'm just talking bullshit? I won't give an example. If I'm saying something and I don't give an example, call me the fuck out, because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, because I don't have an example. I'll always try to give an example and comparison in order to contextualize and show the scope of what I'm trying to say. A Weird Fox, hey how's it going? Welcome, welcome. How are you today? Are you streaming today, Fox? I'm back. That took so long. I'm good. How are you? We're doing good. We're in the middle of this react. We're just kind of talking about different stories and how characters change through debating it. I'm still in bed at the moment. That was me this morning. I was sick as a fucking dog today, man. It was bad. It was fucking bad. But I think it was just fucking allergies. Ugh. Still feel like I need to sneeze, but it is what it is. So I think the best way, hope you're feeling better. Yeah, we'll get there, It's fucking allergies, it's summer. Weird Fox, new face to me, Cute Muffin. It's because you're not a Kick person. I've rated Fox a bunch of times on Kick. But I don't know, we fell off on Kick, guys. We went from like 8 viewers to like 3. I don't know what happened. Whoever, I mean, I haven't really been doing promotions on Kick, and I've been focusing on other areas, so it's understandable that the audience would fall off because I haven't been promoting it. Mine keeps doing that recently too. I don't know if it's a degradation on just people in general because of the time of the year. I'm thinking Kick has a, on average, statistical like younger audiences. So I think the fact that like school's out and stuff, and specifically at the time of the year, the beginning of summer, everyone going on vacation and stuff, I think actually is having a huge impact on viewership on Kick. Because I've only noticed it since the beginning of June, and it's almost been like getting worse as it goes, but sometimes it's in between. So that's just my hypothesis, is looking at maybe the age dichotomy of it. Parents are out with their families, etc. Yeah, so I just think in general now is like a lower boom for viewership. But, you know, that's just my analysis of it. But again, back to like what I was saying about like how I analyze things. I always try to put them into the perspective of like two opposing examples to show either success or failure, or you know, a high end or a low end for like the scope of things. I was trying to think of stories where the main character doesn't change, and not gonna lie, I can't think of any other than just one example of Light from Death Note. Everyone in every single other anime show change. How about this? I give you a task to think of one. Surely there are more. Oh, I can think of one, Joku. Oh, when I got here, I shouldn't have said yo-yo. I should have said I'm back, because yesterday I said be right back and left like your dad. Oh, Muffin, you did it! You fucking did it! Oh! Oh, damn, son, he went out for cigarettes and he never came back. That was 27 and a half years ago. Fuck, man, Muffin, you're the best. I fucking love it. Oh, God. That completely derailed me. Levi, you know what was funny? What was funny is I was literally thinking of Natsu. I'm like, does Natsu change? Like, yeah, you get stronger, but like, he doesn't really change. You know who else doesn't really change? Meliodas in Seven Deadly Sins doesn't really change. I would say, Asta doesn't really change. You know? Like, yeah, sure, he gains the demon thing, but he never becomes, like, an arrogant ass. Even with the demonic powers and stuff, he is still... Fairy Tail is my fave anime. I fucking love Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is amazing. I still have... Like, I'm waiting for 100-year quest. Like, hey, Weird Fox, this is how much I love Fairy Tail. The undefeated dungeon and quest in my book is called the 100-Year Quest, because it hasn't been completed in over 100 years. Bruh, Seven Deadly Sins is ass. I wasted a lot of time watching that shit. I love Seven Deadly Sins, Joku, but I completely understand where you're coming from. It is a very... a very bland anime. I watched it purely for, like, spectacle. Like, I watch a lot of anime for spectacle. I dropped Seven Deadly Sins almost immediately. Oh, come on, guys. Apothecary Diaries at the moment. I've heard of that one, Fox. We on anime now? Yes, Book, we are on anime, because Joku asked about characters that don't change throughout a series. So we're talking about characters like... I would say Natsu from Fairy Tail, characters like Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins, maybe even like, no, maybe not. Well, yeah, okay, maybe like Alucard in Hellsing. I think maybe even, well, maybe not, actually, not him. I was thinking of, Castlevania, but I've seen every single anime above a 7 rating, no joke, almost 90% anime above a 7 rating on Mal I have seen, but Fairy Tail is one I haven't seen. Time for me to get up, have a great stream. Have a good one, Fox, thanks for popping in and hanging out, always a good time. But yeah, we should probably, let's get back to the video, guys. Boy! So,
struggle, you would be let down as a consumer of that story. If you were writing the one about the gold and your characters found out where the gold might be, they showed up, all the gold was there, they took all the gold home and cashed it and became multimillionaires, something would be missing from that. Like, it wouldn't be a satisfying finale. Even though a lot of the time you're like in the movie theater or reading a book being like, please let this just be easy for them, like I don't want them to have a problem. If they didn't have a problem,
it wouldn't be a story.
Feel like in your gut that just something.
Alucard doesn't change much because he's more of a weapon than a person. We just discover more about him. Yeah. I guess actually, now thinking about it, you could probably even say the police girl is like the main character for Hellsing. I could definitely see a case for that.
Right. And this is why. So I strongly urge you to use a structure like this or similar to this when you're writing the climax of your story. I absolutely love using this in mine. I've started using this 5-step finale when I'm drafting the new projects that I'm working on, and that's been super helpful in my outlining. I find it succinct, I find it helpful, and so that's why I wanted to make a video on it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful to you, and if it was, I'd be super grateful if you could like this video and also subscribe to my channel. My name is Claire Fraise, and I'm an award-winning author who makes videos sharing actionable writing tips that helped me make my own writing better. I am the author of the They Stay series, which is a 5-book paranormal thriller series that is complete, and all 5 books are out. If the climax of your book fits this structure, or if you want to know how it could fit this structure and have questions about it, drop a comment down below.
Anyways.
Oh,
Don't fall over though.
You're so mean, guys. It's the 3rd one today. You're gonna break my kneecaps. Oh, down we go. Down, down, down further. Just keep going. Ignore the burn. Ignore the pain. Just keep going. Just keep going. You'll get there eventually. Woo! It's a struggle, but we got this, guys. Thank you for being so helpful in allowing me to try to touch my toes. You guys are the best. Pushing my boundaries, making me get out of my comfort zone. Oh, I wish other people would do that, you know? I can't do it myself. I'm a lazy piece of shit-ass streamer, fuck. We got
Nice
nothing
try,
with that.
better luck next time, fat ass. Get back in that chair, you lazy ass shit streamer.
True. Sorry, I thought it was stretching in a way that relaxes your muscles. Oh no, I'm just joking, Shayra. I literally should try to like stretch to touch my toes. I just like being a little bitch about it because I think it's funny. Because I can't touch my fucking toes. Yeah, but most things are like super over exaggerated with me. I'm a very hyperbolic person in that aspect. And it's like, it's even more amped up for like stream entertainment level, right? So, or that finger thing the Japanese do, where they put 2 fingers together and poke you up. Oh my god. So, there's this clip I was watching, when I was watching Asman, and it's like, you know those things of people like trying to pop the balloons? So it's like, you know, trying to pop the balloon, and, so the guy goes to like jump, right? And it's like a bunch of different compilations of this, and it's like, oh, no, it wasn't balloons. It's where you go to catch the person. So you put your arms out like this, right? And then the person jumps up, and then you, like, catch them like this. And it's, like, to see how strong you are. And it's, like, the girlfriend trying to catch the boyfriend, right? And it's, like, a bunch of compilations of it. And then the last one, the girlfriend goes like this. As the guy's, like, mid-air. It's ready to drop it. So fucking brutal. Thing that made me laugh the hardest in an episode of Run BTS. It's a total fucking Asian thing too. I absolutely love it. It's fucking peak.
Below and let me know. I will do my very best to answer them. If I
Lagamolola?
don't answer them, we have a pretty active community on this channel,
No,
and
I didn't take the
people
tote, right.
are very good
I didn't
about
take a tote.
sharing their own tips, and they might reply.
Hell yeah. I asked ChatGPT for characters that don't change throughout an anime, and Koro
79 is
Sensei from
now
Assassination
following.
Classroom
Thank you
as a
for
result. What do
following
you think?
Sinistrix 79. I hope you are enjoying the stream.
Why,
Less than 4,
sweetie?
less than 3
Like,
plus
Hatred
1.
was just telling me
Sinister
you used to
King
arch command
79, thank
consonant
you
and
for
thinks
the
he'd be a
follow. Holy
perfect
shit,
match
welcome,
for us.
welcome. How are
not
you?
that interested.
Welcome to the stream.
you
Just
smoking?
Google
Who?
Laggy Molala.
What? Why? Are you smoking?
Maybe.
Google on YouTube.
you
I don't know
start
how that works,
smoking?
book.
1989.
I mean, this is like perfect timing,
So
guys.
you
We're about to
have
smoke a
been
bowl.
lying. It all makes sense. The filled ashtrays, the burning pine-scented hairspray.
Yes, I'll see it. Her 3-pack-a-day voice?
Okay, let's finish the video, and then we'll do that.
Your comment and also like give you their insights about
And then I
stuff
can,
too. So
uh,
I'm hugely encouraging of that if people want to also keep an eye out for other comments
True.
and people asking for help and share their 2 cents. I hope you have a
True.
good week, everybody. And as always, happy writing.
Okay, let's bring the volume back down.